change it, though. Just tell me.
What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into the CHGO Bulls Podcast presented to you by PointsBet. Don't forget that promo code CHGO when signing up your PointsBet account to live your what, Will?
Live.
Say it again.
Bet live.
Thank you. With
I was
conviction.
already saying it
I
when
know.
you asked me because
Yeah.
Same.
Just work on the pass. The pass got to be crisper so he can put it up in
Just
there.
wasn't loud enough.
That's right.
I was in the middle of dunking it while the alley-oop was still in there.
There's two balls on the court now?
The new basketball.
Howdy, Bulls fans. I'm Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. My guy, Big Dave, is at BAW, BAWL Sports. My other guy, Will the Thrill, is no longer at Won't Gottlieb.
How dare he?
Yeah.
What the hell, Will?
How dare
I
he?
guess you can now follow him at Will_Gottlieb because he's some kind of fancy man
Grown
professional
up.
whose Twitter handle is just his name.
Can I just say I tried to get Will Gottlieb, I tried W Gottlieb, I tried all the variations, and I even reached out to the person who has Gottlieb because I wanted that.
Reach
And
out.
do you want to know what he said to me?
What?
Suck it?
I'll give it to you for the price of $5,000
Stop
US.
playing, for
And I
real?
said, that's good. I'll be Will_Gottlieb.
Wow.
Isn't that insane?
What a
That
jerk.
guy thinks the Twitter handles are worth more than they are.
I said that
Which is $0.
significantly more than I'm willing to spend on that.
Can
So,
I flood him with terrible things like on his handle? That's terrible. $5,000. Well, first of all,
$100 million.
First of all, he thinks your name is worth 5G. Well, you should be pretty proud.
well,
of
it's
that.
his name too.
Yeah, he don't count. He tried to pay it off.
So of course he thinks it's worth.
Yeah, he's.
I'm still kind of stunned by this. This was like a week and a half ago.
No,
I'm
this
like,
is
oh my
very
God,
stunning news right here. This is a
$5,000.
horrible thing, man.
I either need a raise or
Yeah.
just gonna stick with
$5,000. Like,
Will_.
who you think
It's outrageous.
it's gonna pay off any day, honey?
Who you think you kidnapped? Chelsea Clinton?
You know he's telling his lady that it's gonna pay off any day. You idiot! Nobody's gonna give you $5,000 for that any day now. It's gonna work. No, it's
Oh.
not. You jerk.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a terrible thing to do. Mess with my guy, man.
Hope y'all are enjoying your Thursday so far. We're here to take you in from Thursday afternoon into early Thursday evening. We got plenty more coming up. We got CHGO Bears After Dark. And then after dark, we got Blackhawks post game tonight. Hockey is back,
After
y'all,
Dark.
in addition to basketball being back.
Yeah.
Plenty to talk about today. Ayo Dosunmu, the hometown kid, is up next in our Prove It series that we're going to be doing throughout training camp. Looking at what we want to see from Ayo this season, as well as breaking down a little bit of Ayo film from last season. Before we get to that, though, a couple of things to talk about. First, Will, couple of interesting updates from practice or after practice today. First and foremost, Lonzo Ball is back from California after getting that surgery, correct?
Hashtag in our building.
In our building. Lonzo's in, not our building, their building.
Yes.
And I think it's a
Lonzo.
collective hour.
It's good to see him.
But he did not speak to the media at all today.
He did not speak to the media. I did not see him. Billy said he's still recovering. I think he still might be on crutches. Not able to walk yet, so it's like too early to even start to evaluate where he's at. But
right.
he is back, and I think it's great that he's going to be around some of the young players that they have now. Like, I want to see Dalen Terry start to pick his brain a little bit because they have some similarities in their game. Ayo, I think, could really use some tutoring as far as getting the ball up and down. But I'm excited that Lonzo's back. Hopefully, it means he'll be back on the floor soon too.
Yeah.
Hopefully he is feeling well. And Kobe White, speaking of feeling well, also spoke to the media after practice today. Sounds like everything's fine as far as the injury that caused him to leave the game on Tuesday.
Yeah, I think he got like a knee to knee or knee to like right above the knee with Jackson Hayes. He seems fine. He wanted to go back in, but they were concerned that, if he's trying to make quick, movements, quick twitch movements, that his muscle could give out. And then, I don't know, he'd be in some sort of pain. They gave him sort of a precautionary MRI, came back totally clean. So nothing to worry about there. And it was just kind of a funny interview because I think players are required to speak within 2 days of like an injury or getting an MRI or something like that. So he like came over, he like did basically 2 minutes. And then he was like, okay, great. See you guys. Like before people could ask more questions, he was just done with us. So
tired of talking.
Yeah, it was funny, but he
different this
seems
year, as far as talking is concerned, like wanting to talk, like things like that. Because it seemed like before he liked talking to the media and now he's a little more quiet.
Yeah, he's been pretty quiet. He's kind of like the forgotten man a little bit with this team just because the focus is on Lonzo, the focus is on Patrick and Ayo, and Kobe's still like former 7th pick. He's still the one player that is the holdover from the Garpax era. So
Mhm.
he obviously, I think, has a place on this team as one of the few guys who can shoot. I'm kind of hopeful that he has a little bit, just without any sort of expectations or pressure on him at this point, that he'll have a bit of a bounce back. But hopefully, he said he'll play tomorrow. Billy said he expects him to play, and hopefully, they need that shooting.
Yeah,
right. And it's not a huge deal that in our first preseason game that we got to watch earlier this week, we didn't really get a good sense of what Billy Donovan would have done with his rotation, were it not for the fact that Kobe was only in there for a quick 2-minute spell before suffering that knee injury.
Yeah.
And then after that, Donovan had to make adjustments on the fly with his rotation. I wonder if they give him the full 100% green light, what kind of minutes Kobe will see in preseason game 2 tomorrow night.
and not just the minutes, but where he's going to play on the floor.
Yeah.
Because Billy loves running those 4-guard lineups. So
Mhm.
what position you think he'll be comfortable in with that? So, like you said, he's the forgotten man. So it's just interesting to see, because Billy obviously hasn't forgotten him. So it's just interesting to see where he thinks he belongs on the floor.
I think they'll take it easy on him, but Billy also mentioned at practice today, like, there used to be 8 preseason games.
Yeah.
There's 4 now.
Thank
and like
you.
they need to use this time to ramp it up
Yeah,
and
yeah.
get in game shape.
Good
So
point.
he was saying, people were asking, like, is DeMar going to be playing a full workload? Is that going to be in there? I think they're going to work with the medical staff to determine what is like an appropriate percentage of their normal minutes played that they'll start to ramp up. He was saying, like, maybe it's 70 tomorrow and then 80 on Sunday and then 90 in that last game. Like, they need to use this opportunity to get themselves in game shape, because then they have a week off before they actually start.
Right.
Oh, I forgot to ask you this yesterday, but just clearing this up, there was no issue with Zach sitting out in the second half. It was just him.
No, he played 5-on-5 for the first time since his knee surgery in training camp. So I think they're taking it a little bit more slowly with him than they are DeMar or
Sure.
Patrick Williams. But I think he's fine. Everybody says he looks good, but I think just waiting and playing it a little bit more safely and
Okay.
slowly with him.
So yeah, that was something that I noticed, is that the aging vet that everyone's asking, like, hey, do you still have what it takes to do it again this year, DeMar? And DeMar played like 20-some minutes
right.
in their first preseason game, when some of the other younger guys played significantly fewer.
Marco.
But that's DeMar being DeMar, I guess, to a certain
Want to
point.
play all 82, man. That's what he said.
Yeah,
He was like, I played for free all summer.
right.
He did.
He
It's
just
true.
loves playing basketball.
He does, man.
Me too, DeMar. Me too.
First that we've really heard from Derrick Jones Jr. was
Ooh.
after practice today, right, Will?
Okay.
A guy that I think many people saw as someone who wouldn't return from last season's roster, but then for maybe a variety of reasons, the Bulls went after Gallinari and couldn't get him. Maybe a couple other moves that they were trying to make on the fringe, and then I guess, well, how did he really describe it? I know he kind of talked a little bit about that process for him this offseason that led to him coming back, Will.
Yeah, I think there wasn't a big market for him. I mean, he was a late signing, and it didn't seem like there were rumors about any other teams being interested, which I thought was pretty surprising, because prior to his contract in Portland, the Bulls obviously got him back in the Lowry Markkanen 3-way sign and trade deal. He was kind of a commodity. He played really well with the Heat.
Mhm.
He's super athletic. He's, I think he's only 6'5", but he's got like a 7-foot wingspan. Great defensive player. I thought there might be a little bit more of a market for him, but he was in and out of the rotation last year. There went through a stretch at the end of the season where he didn't make a 3 in 20 plus attempts.
I remember.
That was brutal.
I asked him about his finger injury that he had last year and coming back from that. I think that really impacted his shooting ability.
Sure.
Seems like
Didn't he come back a lot sooner than the initial timeline
exactly.
for that finger
It's
injury?
just about his tolerance of the pain.
Right.
And he apparently has a great relationship with Billy, and Billy has a lot of trust in him. Obviously, wasn't always in the lineup last year, but I think if he's able to be healthy, and he's also only 24, 25 years old. He's been in the league forever, but he can bump up that 3-point percentage back up to what it was in the first half of the season prior to the injury. I think he could be somebody that gets some minutes.
Yeah.
Would be nice. Was there also some talk of a small ball 5, perhaps? I know that's your jam.
I did ask him about that, and I want to write about it, but basically he just kind of smiled and was like, yeah, I'll do that.
I mean, I'm sure if it means minutes, then he
he'll
will
do it.
happily
Right.
play wherever.
Whatever he needs to do to get minutes. And I think that's an area where it could really work. I mean, he mentioned working on his shooting and his off-ball rim protection timing. Like, those are the kind of things you need to be good at. Switchability, he's obviously got down. But to be able to step over and protect the rim, to be able to hit open threes, cut off ball, and just create some havoc in the middle of the floor when you are spaced out. I think he's really built to play that way. And I hope that without the concern of this finger injury, he's going to be able to, like I said, boost that shooting number back up.
Yeah, be interesting to see. I mean, did he get off the bench eventually in that game on Tuesday?
Yeah,
I think he did, but not until late in the game, right?
He took a three and everything like that. But
he played a little bit with Javonte and Andre Drummond, and then as the 4 just next to Drummond. They're, I think, experimenting a little bit with that, but didn't get in until, like you said, the third quarter, and he played a bit in the fourth as well. So, looking forward to seeing more of him tomorrow night.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see a few more DJJ minutes throughout the remainder of what do they have? 3 preseason games left. Meanwhile, Chirac Bobby in the comments is still hoping that we get some Marco hours or at least minutes in one of these preseason games coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, like he was like a legit DNP on Tuesday.
Yeah, he might have been the only player that was
right. And that's so what, like, it's something there, man.
Tony Bradley got in there.
Tony Bradley got some tick, man. I just want to see him play. I just want to see him play one time.
Speaking of training camp practices, before we dive into our Ayo stuff for today, pretty hilarious / breaking news tweet from Shams Charania yesterday evening. And then he had a further report with a few more details. Joey, do we have that little excerpt from The Athletic? Thank you. This is Shams Charania's report from theathletic.com. There was a physical altercation at the Warriors practice Wednesday morning that has the team seriously considering disciplinary action toward Draymond Green, sources tell The Athletic. When a heated interaction with guard Jordan Poole escalated, Green forcefully struck Poole and needed to be separated swiftly. Green and Poole came chest to chest, with both players pushing and shoving each other prior to Green's escalation of the physical altercation.
Those sources said.
Yes. This is, I mean, teammates will get heated at times in practice. We all know this. We've all heard the horror stories from back in the day of all of MJ's teammates that he treated terribly and picked fights with.
Yes.
Shout out to our guy, Will Perdue.
And made them champions.
Right. And also make them champions. Will, you covered the Warriors for a few seasons there.
Flex.
And I mean, I'm guessing that in that time, you got a good sense of everybody who follows the NBA knows that Draymond's got a little bit of the crazy going on up there. But mostly it's good crazy, motivating teammates. You know, everybody loves that meme, gif, whatever, of him like doing this and whispering real close to Kevin Durant's face when they were teammates. And then sometimes it's maybe like a little too much where he blows his stack and something like this happens. What was your perception of Draymond as a teammate when you were covering that Warriors team?
I mean, I think Draymond, first of all, this just reminded me of Michael Jordan punching Steve Kerr in the face. And it also reminded me of Bobby Portis and Nico.
I was thinking that's where most Bulls fans' mind would wander, is the Bobby Nico incident.
This kind of thing happens. And I think it's unfortunate because Draymond obviously has the reputation, but I've always just been kind of a Draymond defender and apologist because, like you're saying, I think that the good outweighs the bad by so much with him. And a lot of times I think it's unfair that I think he's trying to like get a rise out of people and trying to cause, trying to get in people's heads. So I was a little sad to hear this, but I think Draymond and Andre Iguodala especially have really taken Jordan Poole under their wing and turned him into the player that he is. Obviously, Poole is a really great talent. I think his first year, his rookie season with the Warriors was my last year covering them. So he wasn't really like in the rotation or anything like that yet, but being able to play in that Warriors system, you need to be able to move around off ball. You need to be able to read and react to where the ball is, where Draymond is able to get you the ball and the areas where he's facilitating. They obviously have a really good relationship. And this seems to me like it was just kind of a frustration. Like, I don't know, but definitely a little weird from Draymond. Like I said, especially because of, I know that relationship is really strong.
Yeah, it is really strong, Will. But let's get to the nitty gritty of this, sir. We want to know, like, have you seen this with your own eyes? Have you seen a physical altercation among Golden State before? And was Draymond involved?
No, they've always been really careful about buttoning that up. No media is ever like allowed to go in practice, so you don't actually see any of it. But I mean, even when there was the whole thing with KD and Draymond year after year with the Warriors, I mean, that was all noise coming from the outside. And obviously like people had their sources and knew what was going on, but nobody actually saw any of that. It was more asking questions and KD getting really annoyed about it, and then that causing more drama. So never actually saw anything now.
What I do like is the punch was trash. I like that. It was a trash punch.
Have you seen it?
I heard from what I've read.
Okay.
It was a trash punch because he was able to
Can
still
you explain
finish.
what you mean by a trash punch?
Well, sure. I'd love to. So when Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr, practice was over. You know what I mean? Steve Kerr had to go home. You know what I mean? It's done. We're finished.
Not quite to the hospital,
Not to the
but
hospital,
had to go home.
But had to go home. Practice was done. All right. When Bobby so wonderfully punched Nico in the face and broke in 40, it was wonderful. It was a wonderful moment for me.
No, Joey, we will not have Big Dave demonstrate a trash
I'm not
punch.
Demonstrate. I don't know.
I'm not trying to take a punch at work
punches,
today,
bro. I don't throw.
Even if it's
we have better continuity than that.
That's right. We peace of love up here, man. It's all about peace of love up here. But when Bobby did it, he broke Nico in 50.
Yeah,
and it was done. You know what I'm saying? This one, he threw the punch. And even the way it's described, it's not even described as a punch. You know what I mean? Like forcefully threw something at him, but he was still able to finish his shoot around.
Forcefully struck him in the face with his hand.
But he still was able to finish shoot around and go through his motions and do stuff and then go home. That's why it's a trash punch to me, because you're still able to get up and still do stuff. He still was able to finish.
It's not a practice ender.
Yeah, it wasn't a practice ender, man. It didn't shut things down. You know what I mean? So he hit him and then they got chest to chest after he hit him like that. So yeah, not a tough punch, not a hard punch. Not saying he can't do it. It's just he didn't strike him hard enough to in practice. That's a trash punch.
Do you think at all that this is sort of a way for Draymond? I mean, clearly there was something going on there.
Sure.
It boiled over. Draymond seemed apologetic, etc. But do you think this is a motivation tactic from him? Like, we're coming off a championship here. Jordan Poole's about to get a massive,
that's the thing
contract.
that most people on Twitter were theorizing is like, oh, Draymond just a little jealous and bitter because Poole is on his ascension and is probably about to get a huge contract.
I don't even mean jealous and bitter. I just mean don't get complacent.
Right.
We won a championship.
Like, keep him grounded.
The goal is not to win one. The goal is to win again.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't
be. And it's not like Dre would be jealous of the money because Draymond has made plenty.
Tons.
Like, he's currently in year 3 of a 4-year deal worth $99.5 million that he signed when he was 30.
Pretty good.
And so that's like just half maybe of all of the salary money, not to mention all of the business and endorsements, etc. he has been making money-wise during his career. And we all also now know that he is set up already for a broadcasting / some kind of media career after he retires.
Correct.
It's not about the money,
which I'm so excited about, by the way.
Yeah,
because this is
hashtag new media.
Yeah, this and this is going to come up. This thing is going to come up. I don't think it was any of that. I just think it was an altercation.
Right.
I just really think that there's no motivation behind it of you punching me.
Right.
There's no motivation to make me take that on the court. It's just gonna make me not like you. You know what I mean? And that's all that's going to do for me. Like when Mike hit Steve Kerr wasn't to be like, oh, man, I'm motivating him to be better at life. No, Mike was mad.
Right.
And he punched him in the face. And that's how it went. Steve Kerr didn't go out and say, I'm dropping 40 after that. No, it's not motivation. It was just a fight. Like you said, Will, happens often. You know what I'm saying? And in the NBA.
We can name off.
Oh, man.
It's more than one hand how many times that's happened just with the Bulls.
Just with the Bulls. Yes, man. Yes, it has happened. So I'm not shocked by it. When you saw the name Draymond, you were like, "Yeah, that's about right."
Yeah.
When I saw
it's the
Jordan
same thing.
Poole,
It's like annoying that Draymond's like this crybaby because he got a technical and then he gets a technical, and you're like,
right.
God damn it! I'm trying to back you here.
Does
Draymond.
it make it harder for you to defend your guy after stuff like this?
I mean, it's like, this is a terrible example because people hate Russ Westbrook at this point, but it's like you have to take the bad with the good. You have a guy who is one of the great players of all time, and Russell Westbrook, 30, 10, and 10, MVP, like first player since Oscar Robertson to average a triple-double. He's going to turn the ball over. He's going to struggle shooting the ball. He does need to have the ball in his hands to be as successful. You have to take the bad with the good with him. Obviously, Russ has been like not the same player that he was in 2016, 2017, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think Draymond's getting to that point too, where he's just not quite the same. But I think Draymond has earned more than the benefit of the doubt with me. And I mean, 4-time NBA championship, defensive player of the year. Like, you kind of have to take the bad with the good with him.
Agree with that.
Until he's no longer useful on an NBA court, you absolutely take the bad with the good.
And he is not in the same stratosphere right now as Russell Westbrook. He is very much still impactful
Valuable
defensive
piece.
player.
Yeah.
Does he retire a Warrior, Will?
I don't know.
Dre?
I don't know. I would
Yeah.
imagine so,
I would
but
guess so.
I heard Zach Lowe and Bill Simmons talking about maybe the Pistons. He's from
Ooh.
Detroit area or
Ooh.
Saginaw
Actually, I
that
could
would be
see
such
that.
a Pistons thing.
Yo,
to
I
do.
could honestly,
With-
I could see that.
with Cade and
Yeah,
Duran and
yeah.
Ivy. Like
Young
he could be
team,
sort of that
yeah.
veteran mentorship there.
Actually,
I think that'd be really fun, but I also
yeah.
I just can't really see him leaving Steph. Like they're just linked in my mind.
That's fair.
In the comments, Adam said, I heard a report that Draymond missed Jordan Poole and actually hit Kerr. Wouldn't that be crazy? I wonder if Steve Kerr had like a flashback as he's sitting as the coach in his practice and watching one of his players
Right.
punch another one. Like,
That reminds me
God.
of
Remember this.
when Boozer had that and one, he accidentally punched the ref.
the
when he
ref.
punched the ref in the
Oh,
nuts?
man.
Yeah,
Right in the
Poor
special
man.
region.
the accidental
Yes.
punch.
Right in the special
Don
region.
Tavius in the comments said Bobby fought Nico over a starting spot.
Meh.
That is oversimplifying and omitting a lot of what happened there. If you have done your homework on what
yeah,
actually happened there.
Yeah,
I mean, yes, the Bulls did suspend Bobby for that.
They did.
I just looked it up to remember. It was an 8-game suspension.
Mhm.
They also, from a PR standpoint, like said, okay, both parts of this fight were at fault
But-
and mostly took Bobby's side.
but Nico though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the other interesting piece of this is to see. It says the Warriors are considering internal discipline of some kind for Draymond for what they seem to be starting or escalating the fight,
Sure.
and what that might be. Games, like monetary fine.
Right.
We'll
right.
see.
We'll see.
He's got to pay the contract, maybe.
Take him out to dinner too.
Oh
man.
man,
Have him on your
Oh, shit.
podcast. New media.
I love drama when it's not ours. Isn't it
is.
nice?
It's nice to look at,
Isn't it
right?
nice?
You're like, oh, is this how it goes?
Right.
Like, this is how people feel.
Oh,
Okay.
it's like when there was some drama going on with the Bulls a few years back, and I don't know if you guys remember, but Steve Kerr was being asked about it and said something that I guess John Paxson didn't love his answer to, and then John Paxson was asked about Steve Kerr's answer, and John was like, "Well, it's easy to like cast arrows down from the top of the mountain," referring to Steve Kerr and the Warriors being the shit of the league at that point.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I don't either.
Oh,
But Matt,
Get up.
his memory for
Oh.
bad situations.
was
with
it?
the
Was it?
Bulls.
Did it have to do with John Paxson speaking publicly and being bitter about being bad at his job? Yeah, I remember. Hey, John,
Oh, man.
enjoy that paycheck you're still getting.
Oh, he can't help himself.
I can't. I cannot help myself
yourself.
ever.
Thanks for the championship too. Yeah, he did that. Sorry. He did it.
All right, guys, let's move on. We will get to our Ayo Dosunmu film breakdown and prove
Ayo.
it goals coming up next. That's right, Lawrence.
Come sit in the chair, Lauren.
Today's episode brought to you guys by PointsBet. Thursday Night Football.
Football.
Yeah, PointsBet's bringing you guys a better way to bet live on games. That means while you're watching the game tonight, you can place a live same-game parlay,
Okay.
bet on the next drive to be a touchdown, and cash out
All
on your
right.
live second-half overbet. You can do all of those things.
All that?
Yep. Build the perfect live same-game parlay by combining your favorite bets anytime during the game, including spreads, totals, player props, and more. Choose the outcome of the next drive and next points with PointsBet Lightning Bets. So whether you are on the move or on the couch, hello,
That guy.
do it live on PointsBet. Download the free PointsBet app today and sign up with promo code CHGO.
What is it?
CHGO.
Thank you, sir.
To get your first 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services. Well, I believe it's Broncos Colts.
Broncos, Colts.
Two horsey teams.
Two
No Jonathan Taylor for the Colts. I'm thinking. I know they haven't looked great with Russell Wilson so far, but
Yeah.
I think I'll ride with the Broncos tonight. They're
I'm
at
riding.
home,
I'm
minus
riding with
3,
Broncos country.
and
DNVR,
the
man,
Colts
I'm
are beat up a little bit. Give me the
That's
Broncos.
right.
DNVR, baby. I'm gonna ride with it.
That's true. We got to ride with our DNVR
Gotta ride
fam.
with it, man. I love Ryan Green.
We're gonna ride with them until tomorrow when the Bulls play the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Boom.
Then no.
Which did you guys hear? No Joker tomorrow night in that game.
Yeah.
Precautionary, some like slight hamstring or calf
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah. Sounds about right. You know what I mean? Sounds about right. I love Ryan Green's tweet after they lost their last game. He's like, Broncos country, let's cry.
Yeah.
That was great.
Shout out RG.
They
Shout
also,
out.
in their own right, had an awful injury. Javonte Williams, their
Yes,
running back, torn
yes.
ACL.
Tough, man. Tough.
So sorry. Condolences to our
Hope they get that thing
DNVR
together.
Broncos fan.
Yeah. But I do have a question for you, Matt.
What's that?
Did you have your athletic greens today?
I did.
Okay.
I saw Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Day 6.
Day 6.
I have now had athletic greens to start my day 6 days in a row.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
6 days. And he's going to keep it moving like that. And you can do that too, y'all. Those 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, the probiotics, and sweet cream on an ice cream sandwich. The
Adaptogens.
We'll give you the figure too, like, damn it.
Wait for it. Adaptogens.
It helps you start your day correctly. That special blend of ingredients that support your gut health, nervous system, immune system, energy, recovery, focus, and your aging. All the things that you want to make sure you take care of. And you can take care of all of it for less than $3 a day. It's cheaper than that cold brew habit. It's cheaper than getting all those different supplements yourself. You're investing in that all-in-one nutritional insurance. Vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, contains less than 1 gram of sugar, y'all. No GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything. Anything. And it does all this while still tasting amazing. But don't take my word. Don't even take the word of this man right here to the state. Day 6 over here doing his thing. Take the word of this man right here. Perfectly coiffed hairdo. That man they call Will, the GOAT, Gottlieb, the grown-up of the crew.
You said 6 days. I think I'm on 6 months.
Oh,
you're
You
crushing
gotta
me.
catch up, man.
The flex.
You're way ahead.
I'm really happy though that you're starting to do it.
I am too.
Are you feeling like a champ?
I feel good.
Breakfast of champions?
Feel good.
Yeah.
It's not, I still have my coffee in addition
Sure.
to the athletic greens.
Sure.
But it does, I feel like I'm doing something healthy for myself
Yes.
at the start of every day.
It's
Very
a great
proud.
feeling, isn't it?
It is. And it's like, I don't know about you guys. I drag my ass when I'm getting out of bed in the morning. Like almost every day. You get older, it gets harder to get out of bed.
Okay.
And the coffee certainly is a motivating factor. But I don't know what it is about that AG. There's not caffeine in there.
No.
But it's just like
Just the adaptogens.
it's the adaptogens, man.
Trying to tell you about them.
It turns my brain on.
There it
It
is.
turns the lights on
That's right.
upstairs.
Like, hello. And don't you want your lights turned on too, y'all? And we're going to make it easy for you to do that because Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of that immune supporting vitamin D and 5 of those free travel packs with your first purchase. All you got to do is visit athleticgreens.com /CHGO Bulls. That's athleticgreens.com /CHGO Bulls to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily
I'm Ron
nutritional
Burgundy.
insurance. Because it's Athletic Greens. You scoop it,
Goat is acting a fool today.
Scoop
I
it.
love it.
shake it, drink it, and go. He's already feeling it.
Feel it. I'm feeling it.
He's feeling it.
Feel
You
it?
feel it? There it is.
Oh, goodness gracious.
In your face. It's
Oh.
Athletic Greens.
All right, you guys want to watch some Ayo tape?
More than anything in the world right now.
Let's watch some Ayo tape.
Show me
Joey,
audio tape. Show me
good
the
sir,
tape.
if you would pull up wide reject number 1.
Mm.
Um,
I do like the way
so
it sounds.
because we were talking about how this Bulls offense can maybe add a couple of new arms this season,
Yeah.
not rely so heavily on ISO, so heavily on DeMar,
Sure.
And that we could be talking about Ayo Dosunmu starting point guard
Yeah.
in Lonzo's absence. I kind of wanted to focus on Ayo's playmaking abilities while we were
Yes.
looking at these films.
Mm.
Thank you, Matt.
clips.
Way
So,
to be in my brain,
This
Matt.
first
I
one
like this.
is basically a lob play
Okay.
that's designed. You're going to see 3 or 4 different instances of it. And here, thank you for pausing there. You see Vooch setting a screen at the top of the key, but the guy on the weak side ignoring that screen or rejecting that screen and just making a slash cut
Mhm.
to the hoop. And Ayo has great ball placement on several of these. Here you see bringing the ball up, turns down the screen
Ooh.
from Vooch and just cuts to the basket. And that is a
Yes.
high-flying Javonte Green. That's what that man does.
Yeah.
Here we go again. Same play. Sets a screen, goes behind the
Mm.
screen, and Javonte Green once
Mhm.
again just being an athletic freak.
Mm.
But Ayo having the confidence to make that pass.
Yeah.
I really like this play because it
Can I make a
emphasizes.
quick point?
Yeah. Joey, can you pause it for a sec?
Just about that last one, seeing Javonte cut hard like that and
Yeah.
go get a lob. I just want to say this is Mark Karen Sulis's dream for Patrick Williams.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is just dive to the basket like that and go catch lobs.
Yeah.
He needs to be Javonte supercharged.
He does. It's how you can impact the game offensively without being the guy who's got the ball in your hands all the time.
And also, let me give some love to Ayo as well, because it's not like Javonte was open on that. And he still had the balls to throw that up there like that and perfectly placed that basketball right there, man. So, yeah, that's awesome recognition. And remember, this is rookie year.
Right.
So to have that recognition this early is pretty damn good.
Okay, go ahead and roll it. Again, Joey, we've got another one of these coming.
Yes.
Here it is again. Boom, boom, boom. Same play. Goes behind the other side of the screen that Vooch sets and the same lob. And then, I mean, look at that. It's just using your player's athleticism.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, talk about pinpoint accuracy on that one. Now here, pause it here. This one, you're going to run the same play, Vooch high screen. You're going to reject the screen and go behind it. But in this instance, it's Kobe White instead of Javonte making the run from the weak side, right?
Kobe's up top. Yeah.
Kobe not necessarily known as a above the rim kind of threat, a lob threat like Javonte. So what does Ayo do?
Nice.
He waits for Kobe to come all the way across to the low post on Ayo's side of the floor. So it doesn't always have to be a lob threat play. It can be the same reject the screen at the top, but just wait for that same player making a cut to free himself up on the low post. And once again, pinpoint accuracy on the inbound pass from Ayo.
Yeah, I can't say enough about the accuracy. And also in all those plays, Matt Thomas was on the floor. But I can't say enough about that accuracy of Ayo Dosunmu there, man, because it's fascinating to me to be this early in the game and to know it that immediately. Because like you said, honestly, that play that they ran, that last one really highlights it for me, because he has to know that, okay, this is the play now. Like, you're going to make this move and make this cut. He's got to know that, you know what I'm saying, immediately. And to take that pause, because he stopped his dribble and waited for him to make that move. And he was nowhere near the three-point line when he stopped that dribble, man. You usually don't want guys to stop that dribble that far out, you know what I'm saying, when they got the ball like that. And plus, nobody's in the paint. Your center's out here. You know what I mean? It's usually frowned upon. So for him to know that, nope, I'm just waiting. Here he comes. He's going to show itself, hit you with it right there. And like you said, not the athleticism of going up to get it, but still placing it to where he can make an easy layup. Yeah, great point, man.
Hey, Joey, can you play that second clip again, the one against the Pistons? Because I want to point out something that makes kind of this whole thing possible with Vooch and his ability to attract attention. I thought the Pistons defense in that play was really poor. And it kind of shows you that when you make a hard cut like that, the defense, watch here as Marvin Bagley is defending Vooch.
He's on Vooch, okay.
And as if you just roll it, so I think that's Isaiah Livers is now behind Javonte as Javonte cuts to the basket. That's on Bagley to tag the roller, to step up and help there. And that leaves Vooch wide open at the top of the key for a pick and pop three if Bagley is doing his job. So this is the kind of thing that I just wanted to point out about the Bulls making life easier for themselves on offense, not forcing DeMar to create everything. A hard cut like that with a shooter like Vooch just setting a screen really can create some easy offense. So I really like that play. I think that's something they can, even with Patrick or with Ayo or whoever it is, just cutting hard to the basket. That's going to create some easy offense. So
the next couple of plays we're going to look at start with that same base action, that same base package, but with a little bit of a twist that does involve the person setting that high screen more. Before we get to that, we have to address this super chat. Shout out to Schwo. Thank you. Real dark question here.
Seriously.
Which member of the CHGO Bulls team would you sacrifice for the opportunity to draft Wembanyama in the NBA?
Sacrifice
to the Bulls.
And so you're asking the three of us which of the three of us we would sacrifice? This is your CHGO Bulls team right here. And Joey is a part of our team, but we can't sacrifice him. He's too young. He has so much life to live.
And Marquet. But he's
Marquet.
Yeah.
Stop trying to break up our continuity, man. It can't be done.
Will cares about the continuity, as should you, Schwo.
As you should. Sacrifice Joey.
I'm
joking. It's a joke.
What the hell, big
I didn't say that, Joey. I didn't say anything. What?
Oh, Yeah, and I can't sacrifice Marquet because then there would be no one darker and more pessimistic than me on our team.
That's true, and you need the darkness.
I need it.
You need it, man.
I could get there.
You could get there.
Well, that's true.
You get
That's
there
true.
already.
I could get there.
Yeah, but you're not as animated with your darkness.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
He's tossing hats. He's falling on floors.
Yeah, I
you
might
know.
need to go to the Matt Peck School of Hat Throws.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a 1 day course.
Yeah.
You get it, man.
It's a 1 day.
It's a 1 day course.
It was a 1 day course, but tuition ain't cheap, bro. All right, Joey. Now let's pull up wide reject open. A couple of plays here we're going to look at from Ayo. Some more where baseline action.
Ooh.
I love me some baseline.
Love that baseline action.
So it's
It's
the
tasty.
same setup at the beginning of the play, but instead of hitting the guy who's making that slash move for a potential lob through the lane, you're going to see Ayo here,
He's got the ball. Okay.
and then he's going to dump it to Vooch at the high top of the screen. Okay. Then you see Ayo at that point has gone to the corner, and then who's that? Who's that? That's your boy. I knew that would make you happy.
Watch it.
So after this, so this is a situation where Ayo dumps off and then clears out to the corner, then comes back into the action, sees an opportunity to drive baseline, and that bounce pass to a guy making a run down the middle of the lane.
But also point out the recognition of the Matty legend right there,
Okay.
seeing that he was going to the baseline and realizing, oh man, he's got a 7-footer on him and they're trying to lock him down.
Right.
Let me make the cut to the bucket. Boom. That's
Right.
beautiful stuff right there. And terrible job by Garland leaving the greatest shooter in the world.
It really does go to show though, like the value of just having these timely cuts.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Darius Garland was kind of out of that play defensively, which is just on him. But in that situation where it's a pick and roll, there's one guy defending those two spots if the help comes over. And if you move out of the way, create some space for another shooter by cutting through the lane, you're going to get an open shot, whether it's at the rim or in the corner for a three. So Matt Thomas, man.
Yeah.
Thomas,
And then
Thomas.
this next play is,
Ceiling
I
is the
think, an
roof.
even clearer demonstration of Ayo executing this play beautifully. Go ahead and roll this one, Joey. So bringing the ball up, you see the screen, rejecting the screen. The cutter doesn't do the lob, comes all the way through. You dump the ball to the guy setting the initial screen.
Right.
Then Ayo curls around, gets the ball back. Ooh,
boom.
Bounce pass from the baseline yet again.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's part of the game. We love watching him run with Vooch a few times. Was he obviously has rapport with the big men because he spent that time in Illinois with Kofi.
Right.
And so they just run those pick and rolls of him inside, giving those pocket passes, those nice bounce passes, those no-look ones too.
Right.
We saw him do that quite a lot with Vooch, and this one is just perfectly well done.
Right.
Because he's drawing that double team.
Right.
You know what I mean? Immediately. And because he's a threat.
Yeah.
When he makes that move, he's a threat, man. So teams are going to react to him. But knowing that he's a threat, because he knows he's a threat. So once that double team comes, boom, boom, kush blue.
And can we rewind that one more time, Joey? I want to point out a couple more things. When we talk about off-ball movement, because player movement off the ball also leads often to the actual ball moving, and that's what's important.
Yes, sir.
Watch the way that Ayo clears out once he gives this dump off pass to Tristan. Comes all the way through the lane and then spots up in the corner to make himself available. Maybe it's a corner three, but then the other thing I want to point out here is when he gets that pass, when he's in the corner, it reminds me of, you might guys remember when they played the Wizards and Bradley Beal had that story where he kind of mentored up Ayo on one possession down the floor and was like, hey, don't hesitate. As soon as you get that ball, make a decision. Are you shooting or are you driving? This to me was a great example of Ayo saying, okay, I don't have the shot, but what I do think I have is a step on LaMelo here to drive baseline. LaMelo recovers, but he's also drawn the weak side baseline defender for help. And then he knows what? There's somebody open right here in the paint for me to drop this beautiful bounce pass off to. Immediate decision, draw the defense, dump off to Tristan, easy two.
Yeah, and definitely caught LaMelo out of position. So like you said, making his decision made it harder for LaMelo to make his. So that was a great job by Ayo, man.
0.5 rule. Make a decision in half a second.
That's right, man. Half a second. And he's got it down. Well done. Well done. Man.
All right, we got one more set of Ayo plays called Wide Dribble. Joey, can we take a look at these?
My favorite album.
This is a similar sort of setup.
Okay.
But what you're going to see in these is Ayo actually giving a little quick give and go pass to the screen setter. Okay. So the screener's going to get the ball before actually setting the screen for Ayo. You see how that works there? Ayo dumps the ball off to the guy at the high top of the screen there. gives it right back to Ayo as he then sets the screen. Ayo curls around it, draws the defense, whips it right back to the guy who he gave the little give and go to, got the screen from, and who is that? Patty Williams, wide open. Bulls fans can look forward, hopefully, to seeing this play between these two players for many, many games and years to come.
Yeah.
I love this little give and go before the screen. I love this. And then Ayo is so great at drawing the defense and hitting it right back to the guy who gave him the screen for an open three.
What was great about that is I think it was like a 3-man game on that, because definitely P. Will, and for sure what Ayo did, but Cook diving to the bucket and making that guard make a decision like, oh, snap, this is on the pick and roll, and taking him with him definitely cleared out some space. Watch him. As soon as he dives, that guard's like, oh, man, I got to go with him. Oh,
and then you can see there, I think that's Jaden McDaniels has to tag the roller, which is what Bagley did not do. And that's why Patrick Williams is so open.
Look at this.
You put these guys in these quick hitting actions, you force the defense to make decisions quickly, and it's really hard to defend as a team concept in the NBA. It's just really difficult.
Dave, you pointing out the second screener in this play, that's why you're a brilliant basketball mind. That's why I love talking hoops with you, because that screener can get involved in other ways from this same base package of this play design, as you'll see here in the next couple of plays. Go ahead and roll this one, Joey. So you see here you got big man. Ayo comes around. Great, fine. Has an opportunity to just take a little quick top of the paint floater there. Go for it. But the same little give and go pass before the screen comes around the second screen, which is much more of a factor in this play.
Right.
And then he's still rolling if Ayo sees that he has an opportunity to hit the roll man. But Ayo instead says, hey, I got a nice little 12-foot floater right here. I'm going to take it myself.
And that's what the defense is trying to give up in the NBA. They don't want to let you get to the rim, and they don't want you to step out and shoot a three. So Jaren Jackson right there is kind of like non-committal of who he's guarding. He's trying to keep Tony Bradley within reach, and he's trying to contain Ayo to not let him get into the rim. That's how Ayo is going to succeed. That's how DeMar succeeds, just because defenses give you that space. And so if you're able to take advantage of mid-rangers like that at a high clip, you can be really effective.
Yeah. And great job by, again, making the decision immediately. You can tell as soon as he got there, he was going up.
All right, pause it for a second here, Joey, while we set this up. Okay, so same play action, but in this instance, Ayo's not the one bringing the ball up, as Caruso is. Ayo's the guy operating from the corner on the weak side. But what I liked about this play is that Ayo is never fully out of, so it's either going to be Caruso getting a shot, or it's going to be a pick and pop for the initial screen setter, or a roll to Bradley. I could still be involved in this. So Ayo stays ready as this play develops. Go ahead and roll it, Joey.
Stays ready. I like that. Again.
Okay, so here's the action. Initial screen, second screen from Bradley. Caruso's got his defender trapped on his hip. And then Ayo, what does he do? He moves without the ball off the ball. Not in a great position to receive the pass initially, and sees, hey, maybe Caruso's a little bit of trouble here. So what can I do? He can't pass it to me right here. So I'm going to come back towards Caruso to give him an option.
And just clear out space so that Tatum can't double team Caruso.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was about to say. Now, also what he's doing, keep doing that, Joey. Keep doing what you're doing. Also what's great is Ayo, he's not even committing to that first move he made on the baseline. That was to see if Tatum is going to take his eyes and put them on him. And Tatum is such a good defender that he didn't. He's like, no, Ricky, I know that move. You know what I mean? But again, he's going to get a bunch of people with that move, by the way. But Tatum is just really good at defense, that he's not falling for it. Ayo sees that and was like, well, then I'm coming right back in your face and clearing that. And like you said, clearing that space.
And then the recognition here, I think that's Schroeder on him.
Yes,
so I was like, oh, I got the size, the height, and the length.
Exactly.
To just take a couple dribbles, get to a spot, and rise up and fire over this.
And that's what's great. He made the move. He was like, oh, the play isn't over. Let me make another one and make it easier for the guy with the basketball out here, and still put a little pressure on Tatum, because he's making sure his eyes are on him. You have to concern yourself with me on this play, man. That's honestly, that's, as a rookie, that's awesome to know that he has that knowledge already.
Yeah. All things considered, that was like not a optimal shot to take. I think if you look at the way that the floor is spaced, like DeMar was in the weak side corner. Whoever was defending him had a foot in the paint. Same thing at the wing, defender in the paint. And so in order to maximize and optimize space on the floor when you don't have shooters that are spreading out the defense, you have to cut like that.
Yeah.
You have to create those random actions, which is what Billy has talked about nonstop in preseason so far.
Yeah.
You have to make those random plays, make yourself open, and then just be a shot maker.
Yeah.
Great job, man.
Jason in the comments saying intelligence and movement. Ayo is the real deal. Intelligence, movement, and accuracy when he's the one facilitating. And I think that's why I wanted to highlight a couple of those, because look, we know, and we saw in their first preseason game, we're all excited about the fact that Ayo looks to have quickened up and perfected his shot as a 3-point threat, which we know this team desperately needs. But in Lonzo's absence, and not to say that Lonzo has ever been considered a true point guard, because I think we would all agree he's not. Ayo is, I think, someone we can agree is useful playing on or off the ball. He is a combo guard, but what he did do at U of I was play a good amount of point guard, and we saw him play that role very well at times his rookie year, and he's going to be asked to do it some more. So yes, we want and need Ayo to be able to take and knock down shots, but the ways in which he already showed his rookie year that he can run half-court offensive sets is encouraging, and we want to see more of it.
Yeah, I mean, he won an award being the best point guard in the land.
Ding, ding, ding.
He won the Bob Cousy Award. So, yes, he can play that position for sure. He could definitely be point guard. And as Matt was just highlighting on there, like, how can you not see it? It's right there in your face. I thought it was a great job of showing him on and off the ball too, Matt. Like, because him being the point guard from both those positions and showing he could be a threat in both those ways. That was a really great job.
So we all know that there are big things coming for Ayo this season, and the Bulls are going to ask a lot of him. So what are we going to do? We're going to do Prove It.
Prove it.
Set our goals for what we want to see Ayo accomplish and achieve this upcoming season. But before we start our Prove It's, Dave, do you have a word for us from another one of our wonderful sponsors?
I do have a wonderful word for you. First of all, is it like 9 o'clock at night?
Dude, it got dark.
Super dark out there, man.
3:45.
I don't know what's going on right now.
I think it's because there might be a storm rolling in. I did see some showers in the forecast.
Let me make sure I get on home safely and you get home safely. And you know who's upset that it's raining? This golfer right here, because he can't get those links right now. He can't get out there right now and show why he's the best golfer on CHGO Bulls. But it means he won't get that smooth gear that he'll get from Pins and Aces wet, ladies and gentlemen, because they make those amazing polos, hats, golf bags, and even that beer sleeve. You got to have the beer sleeve. It's that innovative product that allows you to store 7 beers right in your golf bag and keep those drinks frosty cold the entire round, because hanging with Matt, they're not going to last that entire round. So they're going to be frosty cold and right for you. Pins and Aces, y'all. That's where you get it from. It's the official golf apparel partner of CHGO. They're a family-owned golf and apparel business. And just because you're awesome, why don't you go ahead and check out pinsandaces.com and use this code here, CHGO, and get yourself 15% off your first order. And let's throw in some free shipping. How about we toss that in?
Love free shipping.
Just because we're going to toss that in there. Plow. Free shipping for you. 15% off your order. CHGO is the code. Pinsandaces.com. Because if you look good, you play good, all good.
I love that you had so much excitement for free shipping and that part of the offer. Well, we all know before we hopped on these mics and did our show today, Big Dave himself is going through some serious personal turmoil with UPS right now. He's had a tough couple of days with UPS.
UPS, what's going on with y'all, man? We used to be cool and nice and tight and everything smooth, but now people just showing up, dropping off stickers and not dropping off my packages, man. How about you ring up doorbell? Let people know that you're there. Or just leave the package there. I'm going to leave the door open like I'm Silk Sonic, man. Just leave it right there. Just go ahead and leave it. Quit putting stickers up, because I promise you, the next time I see a UPS driver even close to the building, I will be pulling over and we will be having a conversation, sir. I promise you this much. Yes, Will.
I was going to ask if you were going to throw a hat. Do a hat
no.
throw.
No. I don't toss hats. That's the Matt thing.
No, he doesn't throw hats.
Matt
He
thing.
just chases down UPS trucks.
I just chase down trucks
on foot.
That's right.
And then reams them out.
I'm Terminator 2
for failing at their job.
I'm T2. I chase them down on foot. No, we're just gonna have a conversation. Like, hey man, go in the back, toss that to me, and we gonna holler. That's all good. We gonna talk, but drop it off. We can end all this. Just drop it off tomorrow when we'll be here doing our game. Make sure you guys join us for that. But yeah, just drop that off, man. I don't want to sick the goat on you. You know what I mean? I don't want to bring the goat on you. You don't want me. You don't want that.
Don't want the fire and fury of the goat.
Do Pins and Aces sell clubs? Because we could
see what I mean?
Crack some windows.
Get start quick. Get started quick. You don't want none of this, man.
There are multiple ways to
do
make
your job,
use of a golf
UPS.
club.
Do your gig, baby. Do your gig.
All right, guys, it's time. Prove it. Ayo Dosunmu.
Mhm.
What do we want to see Ayo accomplish this season? Maybe it's a stat. Maybe it's some element of his game. I know where I'm going. Where are you guys going?
Ooh,
Will,
go
take it away.
I have like 3. So
Oh,
Dave,
God.
why don't you go first, and then I'll just fill in the gaps.
Okay.
All right. I'll go first so he can fill on in. How about I would like to see, since in my opinion, he's going to be the starting point guard. That's just how I look at it. He's going to be the guy who's going to be a starting point guard. But even if he isn't, his minutes are going to increase, period, and point blank. That's going to happen. He's going to be on the floor as the guy who will be the facilitator or even being off ball. So he'll be running that offense for the Chicago Bulls. Matt just pointed out the great way that he was facilitating and getting the ball, those alley-oops that he was throwing. All that stuff looked great. I want to see more of this, and I think he has it in him. Last year, his rookie season, he averaged 3.3 assists a game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that increase to 4.5.
Ooh,
4.5 assists a game for Ayo Dosunmu. That is my prove it for him because he has that in him. We've seen it, especially on the inside, like we talked about, those pocket passes, him coming off the pick and roll. He's got that in him to get that to those guys. I think, Will, he's got to figure it out with the starting lineup. He's got it, obviously, with Vooch. They've got a rapport there. I think he has to figure it out because last year he played a lot more off the ball, so he wasn't the guy who was, getting the ball to those guys so they could do their thing. I think he's got to do that more this year. That he's going to be called upon to do that. And not just with Vooch, with DeMar, with Zach, all those guys. I want to see more catch and shoot with Zach and him. So I want to see his assists go up. I think he has the ability to do it, man. And yeah, that's my prove it for Mr. Ayo Dosunmu.
Love it.
4.5. Doable?
Doable.
Definitely a challenge.
Yes.
But doable.
Yes.
Go. What do you got?
So, like I said, I have a couple here. I think I used upping the steal rate on Kobe already, so I don't want to use that one. I think Ayo low-key kind of had a not such great steal numbers, and so I want to see him get his hand on some more loose balls, try to tip away some passes, even at the point of attack to try to knock the ball away and create some transition. Not going to go there. Not going to go with shooting because everybody on the Bulls team needs to get better at shooting and shoot more volume. The one I want to see for Ayo is last year, he averaged the 4th most drives per game on the Bulls at 4.2. I think that if he can get that number up to, let's call it 7, it's a lot more, but I think in this more movement heavy offense, he'll be able to drive to the basket a little bit more, whether it's attacking a closeout or in pick and roll himself. I think that's going to be an indicator of success for him and for the Bulls, because as Billy's talked about a lot, they need to put pressure on the rim. They really need to find ways to do that without just saying DeMar do it, because even when DeMar is doing that, he's getting to the elbow. He's not getting to the rim and collapsing the defense. I think if Ayo can take it upon himself to be the guy who attacks closeouts and gets all the way to the basket, that collapses the defense, that assist rate goes up. And I think that will be an indicator of not just the Bulls' success, but a lot of different things going right for him.
I like that.
I like that.
I like that a lot.
And assist rate, speaking of, I kind of went along the similar lines of Dave, but instead of setting a goal of assists per game for Ayo, I went towards assist percentage. So percentage of teammates made field goals that Ayo assists while he's on the floor. His rookie year, it was 16.5. That's respectable. I'm setting the goal for Ayo to get that up to 19% in year 2. So basically, almost just shy of 1 out of every 5 possessions when Ayo's on the floor, he's the one getting the assist. It's a little bit of a step up from his rookie year, but doable. Simultaneously, I'm setting sort of like a 1A and 1B goal for Ayo. I want him to bring that turnover percentage down a little bit. As a rookie, just like his assists were, I thought his turnover percentage was actually very respectable. It's 15.9.
That's respectable.
His assist to turnover ratio as a rookie was 2.35. A lot of veteran starting point guards in the NBA struggle to have an assist to turnover percentage that good. Keep it up, Ayo. Just get those numbers a little bit better. Assist percentage bumped up a little bit. Bring the turnover percentage down a little bit. So I'm setting that goal of keep it 15 or below as far as the turnover percentage. So I'm just asking you, Ayo, to knock off 1% on that turnover percentage, because that's what we're really looking for here, whether it's Ayo or anyone else in this Bulls offense, to give this offense options other than Zach and DeMar. what can you do to maybe expand that very narrow margin of error that this team had at the back end of last season with guys being out, et cetera, et cetera. Don't shoot yourself in the foot with turnovers.
Yes.
And so it's not like I'm saying Iowa's the only guilty party there. We know that Zach LaVine has a propensity for turnovers at times, and we know that even DeMar can have a careless turnover here or there. But for a rookie who's trying to make a big step from year 1 to year 2 as a sometimes point guard and sometimes shooting guard, what you can't do is give your opponent free possessions by turning the ball over. So there it is. Assist percentage bumped up from 16.5 to 19. Turnover percentage knocked down from 15.9 to 15 or under. Those are my 2 goals for Ayo this year.
I like that. I like that a lot, man. And I like it because you're putting things on him because of the talent that we've seen him display.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? From that first year, man. So these are all things that are definitely doable from what we saw him doing. And now, like we said, he'll have more time on the floor to achieve these kind of things, Will. And
I think all 3 of these play together.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
If he's driving to the basket more, spraying it out, creating more assists that way, taking care of the ball while he's doing it, you're going to see all these things boost up. So I think, I mean, if he is able to continue improving and just getting into the teeth of the defense, a lot of good things are going to happen for him.
Yeah.
Thank you, Schwo, for hanging out in the comments and pointing out that there are 100+ people watching and only 30 likes on that thumbs up button so far. Hit that thumbs up button. Helps us out a lot. Pretty please. We appreciate it.
Yes. We'll take all that, man. Give us all those
It's not that much to ask. Hit that thumbs up button if you're enjoying us today, because we're enjoying you hanging out.
I learned how to do this watching Will.
Speaking of which, I saw Schwa had a different comment earlier on saying if the Bulls get a top 4 seed in the East, Peck should have to grow his hair out, curl it, and dye it blonde like MJ's bodyguard in The Last Dance. Okay, first of all,
you take that one, Matt.
The name's man was John Michael Wozniak. You say that man's name. That dude is a legend. He was a former / retired Chicago police officer before taking that security job at the United Center, one of MJ's many bodyguards during the dynasty years. That dude's hair was immaculate. Not many people can pull off a blonde perm mullet.
It's true.
John Michael Wozniak did that and then some.
As a grown man.
Could I pull that off? Hell no.
Isn't mimicry the best form of flattery or whatever the term is?
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, I believe is the phrase.
Yes.
I think
I admire John Michael Wozniak, one of the few people in the world who was good at giving back the shit that MJ was doling out to everybody.
Yes. That was me. If that was me who just said, I believe mimicry or blah, blah, and I butchered the quote like that, I would be hearing about it for the next 3 months.
No, I disagree. I disagree with that. But if you didn't know what any of those words meant, then we'd be on your ass about that. I think that's the difference.
All right, fair.
That's the difference. Like, no, if you don't
Joey,
know the quote,
stop trying to throw me under the bus.
Yeah,
dude.
man. Like,
I'm the only one that has your back.
Didn't I tell you to stop doing that, Will?
You're right.
I tried to tell Will to stop doing that.
I'm the only one on Team Joey. This is the thing.
I mean, I don't know why I'm doing that. Big Dave literally said I would be the one that would be sacrificed.
And Brooms in the comments.
For what, Joey? Look who I'm doing it for. Come on.
Brooms in the comments just chimed in by saying Will just besmirched that quote. It's not exactly the perfect usage of besmirched.
Not a perfect use of besmirched, but
it's not totally off.
We understand.
It's not totally off.
The fact that people in the chat want to continue to use this wonderful word, I'm completely okay.
I saw Steak Face in the chat yesterday.
Steak Face.
We just
I
just love it.
I'm not dyeing my hair blonde and getting a perm. I'm not doing that.
I don't want him to do that either.
But what I think, was it last year before we even started the CHGO gig on our other platform, somebody was like, hey, Peck, if the Bulls get a top 4 seed, and this one when they were out to that like red hot
I remember
start.
This. Yes.
Top 4 seed, Peck, you got to shave your head and like dress up like Caruso for an episode. And I was like, okay, because in my mind at that time, I already kind of saw the writing on the wall for the back end of the season. I was like, they're not getting a top 4 seed.
He was a little concerned.
I was sweating it out for like a couple of weeks there.
A little bit, he was concerned.
Speaking of dressing up, 4,500 followers on our Twitter account at CHGO_Bulls. Getting close.
Getting close.
Getting close.
I want those
The
Tigers
Toots
and
and the
Tooks
Tigers. He
so
wants it so
bad.
bad. He wants it, and Casey wants it bad. That's who really wants it.
Obviously.
Casey wants to have me.
You know
put
why?
that thing
Because
on.
you look so fresh in
Well,
those
I'm
Tigers
not
and Toots
denying any of
outfits.
this. Now, I'm sure I'm going to look amazing. I'm not denying any of that, but I don't want to put it on. But Kate, look at her. Look at the joy on her face right now. See, it's like yes, content, yes. Get out the way.
Brooms, do not besmirch my besmirching. All right, now you're just trying
All
to
right.
like inception
Come
us
on, dog.
with your vocabulary usage.
Let's not do that.
Let's
And
not.
Can I point out how long have you had this beard?
So remember like when I came back from my week away in Mish
Yes,
and I just kind of didn't shave for a week because I was on
Yeah.
vacation and you were like, damn, that was like a week?
a week.
Yeah. So this is that plus however many weeks have been on since
Yeah.
then. It's like a couple more weeks.
Weeks, Will. This is weeks. This is incredible. I'm
Luxurious.
This is amazing.
Says a
dog.
man with a beautiful full beard of his own.
Yeah,
sitting
but
next
I
to me.
can't. But you have nothing on your face, and then in a week, you got that right there, man. It takes me a little time to get back to that, bro.
Well, don't get used to it because I was thinking about actually ditching this and going either goatee or stash sometime soon.
Ooh, okay. What do you do? You always
Stash
do the
back?
stash.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always
Stash
do
back?
stash.
Yeah.
What about the goatee though?
I might do the goatee for like a week. I don't know.
You want to
I'm
ask
not
the people?
opposed to the goatee.
People, do you want the stash or
Lawrence
the goatee?
Lawrence is not a fan of the goatee.
Lawrence don't want the goatee.
I gotta say, like the only reason I would even consider doing the stash for a while longer is because our guy Eric, shout
Yes,
out to him
shout
from
out.
the NVR.
Yeah.
He pulled me aside while we were out in Vegas together for summer league, and he was like, "Peck, you must bring the stash back." And I was like, "Dude, you just met me with a stash. It's not like my look."
It's not a thing. Joey doesn't want. What? Oh, I'm sorry.
Joey-
Come on, Lawrence.
Lawrence has something to say.
That's just because he doesn't want to do more work because he drew your caricature with the mustache.
Right.
Mm.
So that's.
But
all
I don't
he's
think
saying.
anyone's complaining about my CHGO
Yeah, you just-
avatar guy having a mustache, and when I shaved it off, people were like, "Oh,
Well,
So
I'm-
you're saying
this
it
is-
didn't
is-
look amazing? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, of course the mustache is great. Don't do a goatee. Goatee
Oh.
is very me in late 90s.
You can't compare everything to you now. Let's not
Why
do
not?
that.
I really
Why not?
Where's my
Kev,
camera?
Kev, do you want him to have a mustache or a goatee, Kev? Matt Peck, mustache, goatee. Which one? Mustache.
Mustache.
Everybody wants the mustache,
people have
man.
spoken.
Unanimous.
People have spoken."
People have spoken. They want the mustache. Well, the one vote that matters. KC, mustache or goatee for Matt Peck? Oh, she don't want neither.
Yeah,
She wants clean
I-
shave.
I've.
Looks
Oh,
way
yeah.
too shave.
That's
Like, you
why
can't trust him?
I only ever keep the goatee for like a week tops. It's
Okay.
it's a transitionary phase.
Okay.
We're
Between
definitely
beard
seeing
and
him
stash.
clean shaven
Okay.
tomorrow, right? Because Casey said that.
Oh yeah, if I go stash, I'm full
He wants
thing.
the food. People want the food.
Full
The
thing.
people want the food. People want the food.
Colin in the comments is also
My
calling
facial
for a
hair
free
is like
man.
blonde. You can't even see it.
No, see, I like Will. Will's got sort of like a 5-day.
Will's
Quasi-
got a
half
permanent
beard.
5 o'clock
Yeah,
shadow.
I've got a permanent.
It's a permanent 5
No.
o'clock shadow.
But
man.
that's not just a 5 o'clock shadow. That's like a 3-day shadow.
That's a
Yeah, but
3-day?
it looks like 5 o'clock
look-
because
yeah,
again,
he's
it's
right.
so blonde that nobody can see it.
He's absolutely right. It could be this big, and I'd still be like, "Oh, 5 o'clock shadow. Just had it for a day." It looks amazing, though, Will. I'll tell you
Thank
that. It looks amazing.
Thank you.
All right. Clearly, we're done talking about the Bulls. Let's get out of here. It's 4 o'clock Chicago time. We are out. We will be back tomorrow for pregame.
Woo!
We got Bulls Nuggets. The Nuggets are in town. 7
D
p.m.
Mays, what
7
up?
p.m. tip off, which means 6:30. We will be here for CHGO Bulls pregame in
Which
studio.
means not an 8:30 tip off.
Thank
which means
God. Old Grouchy Pants over here was not happy about that
my
8:30
God.
tip.
Oh my God.
I don't care what you say, Mark.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, whatever. We're giving the Bulls our Friday night. The least they can do is start at a reasonable time, right?
Yes, that's the least they could do.
In the meantime, between now and tomorrow's show, follow us on Twitter. I'm Bulls_Peck. Dave is at Balby at WL Sports. Will, like a loser, fancy man, is at Will_Gottlieb now.
Damn.
Hashtag never forget won't Gottlieb.
Don't
We are
worry.
CHGO_Bulls.
Won't
Shout
not
out and appreciation
Oh,
to our
Lord.
guy Joey running things behind the scenes. And keep it locked right here on the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Subscribe if you aren't already. We got Bears After Dark coming up. Then we got Blackhawks post game.
All right, see ya.
You the
Sierra
one
be
came
good.
on talking to
Sierra
us
be
about goatees. All right, you cut that out.
You're be good.
Peace, y'all.
Bye. Bye.